If they don't even mention the contract, you mention the contract. It's cute, yes. Oh, vanity metrics, ooh, cute, yeah, but like it ain't cute in your pockets. That's the tea. Hey y'all, it's Kameron with a K, coming to you guys with a new video. So in today's video, I will be spilling the legal tea on influencer contracts. I know I've been talking about it quite a bit on my social media platforms because I want to make sure my fellow influencers, content creators, YouTubers, entrepreneurs, you name it, understand the legalese of contracts, the power of contracts, and just always know what they're signing and why they should be signing it and how to use the contract terms in our benefit by getting higher paid opportunities. Okay, I'm gonna spill some tea. I'm not gonna spill all the tea in this video. So if you haven't seen my other videos where I talk about influencer contracts, I will link it in the cards and in the description box down below. Also, don't ever hesitate to comment down below and let me know what other questions y'all have about social media laws, entrepreneurship laws, influencer space. All the things about influencer marketing is what I love. Not only am I an influencer, content creator, YouTuber, etc. I'm also an attorney, a licensed attorney. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. I do have some notes today. As y'all know, when I'm sitting down, got my notes. So first thing I want to talk about is what exactly is an influencer contract. So influencer marketing, just as other advertising and marketing avenues, are very similar when it comes to the contracts. However, there are certain terms that are different. So we're discussing the deliverables for an Instagram post. It's going to be a different discussion if you're talking about advertising on a billboard or commercial space, or even doing a non-digital usage such as a magazine cover, etc. So there are so many different avenues under the advertising and marketing, I guess, umbrella, and influencer marketing is kind of right there, but in a digital aspect. So it's the same but different. I will say any lawyers trying to navigate this space or contract consultants, you do need to know social media, the ins and outs of it, to be able to navigate comfortably because you know how it works. So getting involved on social media, I'm not saying you have to be an influencer just like me or have like one foot in the door in each. However, I will say in my position, it's really helpful because I review my own contracts and have been for years. I've been in the influencer marketing space as a creator before contracts was even involved in this thing. It should have been back then, but y'all, we ain't know no better. We trying to do better now. We trying to do better. But the space is so new. I actually was on a panel today talking with other lawyers, 2 law students, about how to navigate this space and about how new it is. And it was just so great listening to other lawyers because they're starting to notice, oh wow, this is a space where I should navigate in, or I fell into, or it's an opportunity for me to understand social media, understand digital marketing, and really show that the law needs to be involved and how can we navigate this so everyone involved can understand. I hope that makes sense, but I'm really passionate about it and I'm trying to like not be doing too much. But seriously, you have to think about how fast the digital space is growing, how fast social media comes up with new phrases, new terms, new outlets to create content, such as TikTok. It came out of nowhere, then Instagram Reels and Instagram Guides. Like there's so many things popping up constantly. So us as lawyers and us as creators, we have to stay on top of it. So I always suggest creators, if you are going to work with an attorney or a contract consultant, make sure they are knowledgeable about this industry. Yes, there is some overlap with other industries, but it is very specific. So it's always nice to have an attorney or have a contract consultant that specializes in that. And I do want to give a disclaimer because I am going to be giving my suggestions and my opinion and my expertise on a few things. So although I am a licensed attorney, I am not your attorney. This is for educational and informative purposes only. If you are looking for an attorney, seek your local jurisdiction. All you have to do is call your state bar association and they can give you a lawyer referral. I do offer contract consulting services, but even within those services, I'm not creating an attorney-client relationship at that point. But the benefit of having a lawyer as your contract consultant is if there is a legal matter that needs to be addressed or that does come up, I'm able to step in. I'm right there. You don't have to outsource. You don't have to look. I'm able there to help you. And we can sign a separate agreement contract between us called an engagement letter. And then you will be my client as far as attorney-client. But as a contract consultant, I do have clients. I do have a client roster, and I work with several different clients on different social media needs, specializing in contracts. So I figured I'd throw that out there. And at the end of the video, I'll talk more about how you can possibly join my client roster. I'm actually opening it up April 1st. It is a monthly opportunity for creators to be able to sit back and focus more on the creative aspects of their job and not worry about the legalese of contracts. So, but I'll give that extra spiel towards the end. So, influencer contract is essentially a contractual agreement between the influencer or creative, as well as the brand or business that is trying to hire the influencer for a specific purpose. So essentially it sets out all the terms in which both parties understand what are their obligations, what laws are they falling under, what are any guidelines or regulations, restrictions that need to be in place, what are the usage rights and the licensing rights, how can the brand use the content, what type of content is being created. It really just sets out the entire blueprint of that relationship. That essentially is what a contract is in general, but also an influencer contract. So we know what a contract is, we know it's legally binding, we know that we have to abide by the guidelines, restrictions, regulations, terminology, and everything we agree within that contract. But why do we need it, right? Why do we need it? What's so important about having a contract is similar to like having car insurance. You're not intentionally only getting that insurance because you're like, I know I'm gonna get a car accident, I need to get this car insurance. You know, we're praying we ain't getting in one. So it's a similar thing. The contract is to protect you and your brand, as well as whoever you are signing the contract with. It's supposed to protect both parties just in case there is a legal matter that arises. There's nothing worse than not having clear terms in regards to, let's say, payment, because that is, child, everyone wants to get paid, okay, on time, right? So let's just use the payment situation as an example. So let's say you work with a brand and there's no contract, or in the contract you forget to discuss when you will be paid. So in your head, you're thinking, I post the content, right? And I'm going to get paid immediately. But in the brand's head, they're thinking of a more industry standard point of view where you get paid net 30. Imagine if you had planned your schedule, shot your content, and purchased things in hopes that you would immediately get reimbursed or immediately get paid right after you post that. What can you rely on to state that you were going to get paid immediately? What can you rely on? Nothing, because you don't have contract terms. So that's exactly why you need a contract, to be able to rely on, to be able to look back on and utilize when there is a question of when is something due, what type of content, how the brand can use your content, when are you going to get paid, how are you going to get paid, etc. What happens if there's a panorama again and the brand is unable to send you the product, therefore you have to go purchase the product? Are you able to get reimbursed? It's such a more comforting feeling to know that you have a document of protection that is legally binding on behalf of you as well as the brand. Let me give you a more example on that payment thing. So let's say in your contract, which you should, have a late fee payment clause. So if a brand says they're going to pay you net 30, on net 31, as soon as the 31st day, you're able to send them an email politely, of course, always be professional. You are a business owner, creator, you are a professional. This is a professional setting. If you want to get paid like a professional, you need to act like it and run your business like it. You know what I'm saying? So reach out to the brand politely on the day that they're late and say, hello, such and such. Thank you so much for working with me again. It was such an amazing opportunity. I did want to put you on notice that you are past the deadline in which payment is due. Please see attached for the contract. I have highlighted the portion in which you have agreed to paying a late fee when you are late on the deadline, as which you are now. I have also attached an updated invoice with that late payment fee for your reference. Please let me know if you have any questions. Best. Okay, that was good. No, but seriously, you want to make sure that you're able to cite something if something happens. And I get it, sure, an email could be legally binding, and actually most of the time it is, because say there's something that is discussed outside of the contract, you both agree, I always print that out so that I can attach it to the contract so I can reference it if needed. But who wants to sort through a whole bunch of emails? Come on now. Who wants to sort through a whole bunch of emails to try to piece together what the brand collaboration is? What was the hashtag? What was the terms? How many pieces of content? When is it due? How many reshoots am I able to do? Did I negotiate that? I can't remember. When am I paid? No. It's so much easier to just have it in a document, one document, which, you know what I'm saying, one document, but usually it's several pages, but you get what I'm saying. It's easier to be able to reference one piece of work rather than having to sort through a ton of emails. No one wants to do that. And honestly, like I said, it's much easier on you and the brand to just have it all set in stone in a contract. And no, it doesn't have to be this complicated, super legalese document. Absolutely not. However, of course, when you work with an attorney, as you should, or at least a contract consultant who knows that there are specific legalese that should be in your document. It should be in your contract. Because again, it's one of those things, Lord forbid something comes up. say they're using your photo in an improper way or misusing your copyright and your likeliness in which you did not allow them to, you want to be able to have the law behind your back, so to say. You want to be able to reference a document, because when it comes to courts, when you get into litigating these type of things, courts don't want to get involved with contracts. I feel like that's like contracts 101 in law school. Courts are like, listen, we want the economy to boom. We want people to negotiate with each other. We want them to be able to collaborate and work on different things without always having to source it through the courts, which is why contracts gives you so much flexibility when you're negotiating your terms and deciding how you want things to look. Of course, like I said, there are those clauses that you should have in there, such as indemnification, which essentially means if there is something that goes wrong, let's say the brand gets sued for something, you want to make sure that someone is held liable in the instance that a third party who is outside of the contract does come for you as the creator or for the brand. So things like that, of course, you want to have those kind of things in there. But essentially, that's really why everyone should have a contract. And that's why courts don't like to get too involved, because who knows better what your business needs and what the other party's business needs than the two parties involved. Courts don't know. They just read the contract. If it ain't in there, they don't get involved. They're like, y'all better hash it out, or it doesn't apply, or where in the document does it state that? That's the first thing the courts are going to say is, where in the document does it state that? I remember my contract professor, he would be like, it's all about the four corners of the contract. Everything outside of that doesn't matter. And that is so true. So you want to make sure your contract is detailed, thorough. And of course, you cannot think of every single scenario, but you want to make sure you are stepping the best foot forward when it comes to these type of things, just in case there is something on the back end that happens. We know what a contract is, why you need a contract, but when should the contract come into the conversation, okay? So generally, once you have been reached out to by a brand, or you have reached out to a brand and y'all are in the emails, y'all are hyping each other up, they love your content, you love them, y'all want to work together, they set out their collaboration obligations, you set your rates, they negotiated, you got the rates you deserve because you deserve to get paid your rate. And if they weren't able to pay that rate, you were able to negotiate your deliverables, so then that way you feel comfortable with whatever agreement was made and the brand is happy as well. But remember, a healthy negotiation, both parties lose a little bit of something. You gotta compromise. You don't never leave a negotiation 100% satisfied, but you should be dang near close. Great. So now the conversation has kind of come to a halt at the email. This is when you need a contract. But I'll even add a little bit of a caveat there. A lot of times, everything isn't discussed even once the contract has been sent to you. Because what happens is a lot of creators don't know to ask about usage rights, licensing, whitelisting, and other terminology that are leaning more on the legality side and the legal terms prior to even receiving the contract, right? So of course we know to discuss what type of content they want and what are the rates for that content. But the rates don't stop there. Your rate increases when it comes to usage rights, licensing, whitelisting, etc. All of the things that incorporate a completed collaboration with a brand. But a lot of times that conversation doesn't happen until the contract has been sent. So what you can do when you are in the email negotiation phase and they have agreed to a rate, make sure you say something like, here is my rate. However, it is contingent on what is going to be sent in the contract. Or something like, contingent is such a law word, but, or you can say something like, this is my current rate based solely on the deliverables. Still lawyer-like. Okay, come on, Cameron. This is the rate for the contract which you asked for. However, the rate can increase depending on what you're requesting in the completed contract. Something like that, so that they know, heads up, thank you, this is my rate. Yes, you're agreeing to this cute little rate. Thank you, that's cute. However, once you send that contract, you know, we all know, they know, you know, we all know. You see me, I see you. You see me, I see you. TikTok reels. They know that they're gonna send some usage rights, licensing, which haven't been discussed in the email chain. So they should know that the rate's gonna go up. But you know, we're learning, they're learning, you learning, the industry is learning. We're gonna get it together where everybody on the same page eventually. And creators, this is for you. Don't be afraid to ask questions about the contract. Say you don't work with a contract consultant as myself, or a lawyer, or an agency, whatever the case may be. Even when working with them, if you have an agent, you should always review your contract. You wanna know why? because it's great to have an agent represent you. It is great to have a manager represent you. It is phenomenal to have people that are vouching for you and looking for the best collaborations for you. But at the end of the day, you're signing that contract, and if something hits the fan, you're going to be obligated to handle that. It's going to be on your back, on your brand, on you. So you want to make sure you know what you are obligating yourself to. And as much as someone can explain it to you, I always have any of my clients, they review their contracts first, then come to me with questions, and we break it down from there. I never want to be the only one looking at a contract for a client, and I truly believe no one should be the only one looking at the contract. Now it's on you if your agent says it to you, you don't take a look. That's on you. But remember, you are the one that's going to be liable, and you're signing that contract. I said what I said. If they don't even mention the contract, you mention the contract. You mention the contract. Do not be afraid to ask questions, to mention things, and brands as well. This is supposed to be a collaboration. This should be a healthy, positive, open conversation between two businesses and two brands trying to come together to help the consumers, to help their audience, to help the nation. And that was really dramatic. I know some people right now are probably thinking, well, what if they're just sending me something free? As soon as they're obligating you to do something with that free product, that's when you need a contract. If they're just sending you products and it's like PR packages and it's nothing where you have to actually like post something once they send it to you, you don't necessarily need a contract. But what you should say, wait, say something like, thank you for reaching out to me. I am currently accepting gifting opportunities. However, with my gifted opportunities, I am not obligated to post on my social media or advertise in any way. If you would like to discuss me advertising your products or any specific deliverables you're looking for, I would be glad to discuss your budget in regards to that, as well as my rates. Something like that. So it's clear, concise, they know, and they're like, oh, no problem, no pressure to post. And now brands are like, we encourage, and encouragement is not an obligation. But as long as you send that and they're like, okay, great, we agree, that's all you need. Print that out. Like I said, email discussion can be legally binding if you have no other source of document, especially with something like this. However, I do want to add this caveat that DMs, direct messages, just get them out of the DMs. California has a law that states something of the nature like, if there is a discussion between parties within a direct messages, it is viewed as a text message, therefore it is not a contract, therefore it is not legally binding. So just get out of the DMs. Not every state has that. It's not a federal law to my knowledge, I don't believe, but I just want to put you on notice that that may be something that comes up. As this industry progresses, there will be laws that will go up and down and change, and there's state specific things. So you just want to be as cautious as possible. Also, I believe there's an extra level of professionalism that comes with being in emails rather than direct messages. So let's get into how to use the contract, which I've kind of touched on that, but essentially how to use a contract that is going to benefit you and your brand is by reading it completely thoroughly from start to finish, asking any questions, researching any terms that you don't understand, working with a contract consultant, working with a lawyer, and trying to really understand what have you agreed to, and then also learning what terms, what clauses, and what sections you can use in order to tack on more money. That's the name of the game. You have to think about it like this. I use a scenario all the time. If you're driving down the highway and you see your photo, your face on a billboard, and you didn't get paid for that, you're going to be pissed. It's cute, yes, oh, vanity metrics, ooh, cute, yeah, but like it ain't cute in your pockets. You can't pay a light bill with a billboard or with a makeup or with some hair products. That's the T. So you want to make sure that you're getting adequately compensated for your work. And sure, people are like, well, I already created the content, they just want to reuse it in their email chain, it's fine. No, that's your likeliness. That is your copyright. And also, you just want to know where your face is, where your likeliness is being used, where is your copyright. I use this scenario all the time too. If I have on this cute shirt, which it is cute, from Zara, and my mom sees it, she's more likely, or even a friend, or y'all, if y'all see me with the shirt on, maybe you're more likely to buy it because you respect my opinion, you trust my opinion, and you're more likely to buy it just because I'm wearing it as opposed to somebody that you don't know. So because of that, you should be paid for that likeliness. You should be paid for that. So just keeping that in mind, that's how to use contracts. That's how to use them in your benefit. Knowing and understanding those terms, and just to kind of touch on a few, usage rights is really, really huge. You can get so much more money simply from the usage rights clause in your contract. Yes, it's fine to allow them to use your content and repurpose on their social media platforms during a campaign with the content that you specifically created for that campaign. Great. However, but if they want to be able to repurpose that content in some other way, essentially to get payment off of your likeliness, off of your copyright, and off of your content, you should be paid too, right? Like, yes, you got paid up front for the content that you created and for them to be able to use your content for a short amount of time, but for them to continue to make money off of you for a year, you're gonna wanna be paid. So that's just a small example. I have a few other examples. If you follow me on Instagram, so you guys can see how I talk more about influencer contracts, it's all in the captions and in my reels and things of that nature. So I just want to be able to be a resource and provide value to creators out there, but also I want to be able to work with many of you as I can one-on-one. Essentially, I wanted to come up with a way to be able to help creators on a one-on-one basis, monthly basis, to be able to really deep dive into the contracts with them. And I've been testing it out with some beta clients, and they have been so amazing. I have just received so much great feedback that now feels like the perfect time to be able to launch this. I'm keeping my roster very, very small on purpose, so there are limited spaces only because it does have that one-on-one personal aspect. This is for creators that, I'm gonna just read it from my website because I ain't even about to play with y'all and waste y'all time. This service is my contract consulting service, and it is for influencers and content creators who struggle with navigating the legalese of influencer brand deal contracts, don't have time to constantly review their contracts, but understand that skimming is not enough, and or want more time to create and not worry about making sure they're protected in their brand partnerships, which is the #1 thing. I get it. I'm a creator myself, so I literally understand because I'm right there with you, but I want to be able to also help you and provide you with the legal knowledge to make sure that you're secure and ready to hit the ground running and know that these brands ain't gonna get over on you, period. Okay, period. So right now I'm offering 2 different packages, the associate package and the partner package. The associate package is going to be reviews, revisions, and redactions for 3 contracts in a month. And also during that month, you will have real-time access to me for the entire month. It is a monthly subscription, so you'll have access for as long as you keep the membership relevant and alive and paid for. So during that month, you will have access to text me, voice message me through a app called Voxer. We'll be able to communicate, and with the associate package, you get 2 Zoom calls with me if you want extra clarity on things. But the voice messaging has been amazing. My clients have loved that aspect, and I love it too because sometimes you just have a quick question. I know some of you are like thinking like, well, only 3 contracts. Sometimes you may not need to send me the entire contract, just like a snippet of it. That's not counted towards your complete contract. I'm talking about when I'm having to read a complete contract, give you the redactions I recommend, give you my feedback on what you should input, and I also point out things such as how payment works and get into the nitty-gritty of the content aspects of the contract, not just the law, because I'm able to understand the importance of understanding deliverables, content, deadlines, and on that side of things, the social media content creation side, I can also give input and help on that side, aside from just the law. So that's what I'm offering for the associate package. I'll put the link down in the description box below if you guys want to check that out. So the second package is the partner package, and in the partner package, you will get the same things as you get in the associate package. However, you get 7 complete contract reviews and 4 Zoom calls. So 1 a week when you're in the partner package. This is going to be a lot more hands-on because I'm going to be able to get on because I'm going to be able to get on a video call with you. So those are what I'm offering right now. I just want to put that out here. If you're interested, I will leave a link down in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up this video if you enjoyed and leave me some comments down below. I love you guys. I just love what I'm doing right now, and I truly believe that my passion and purpose are aligning with this. So if it was helpful, definitely let me know. Share this video with your family and friends, and I'll see you in my next video. Love you guys. Later.